comments look good?
Yeah, you.
Great. And Kelly, you good?
Yeah.
Great. Advantage 1 is fusion. Current U.S. nuclear patent disputes are the foundation of stagnating fusion investment, only providing the guarantee of protection from the void. Bear 24. The programs of fusion take struggle held by disputes over control of discoveries that PRs, the center of talks between the DOE and the fusion companies. Back the way purchase and support the administration to accelerate reactors, the DOE and fusion tech companies are struggling with that common ground rights to own a feature of future development leaders and the ability of investment brand needs critical and better appeals to investors any startup that makes the need for realize and secure the value of the proposition to continue providing an instrument with no IP remains intact and future revenue is not compromised. The DOE will assert that control over patents current development over essential reactor technology. Verse 24. Going from demonstration to utility requires breakthroughs of starters are vital space. The cost of the underscores the importance of getting an IP agreement, the key to success of knowledge and patents that helps simplify the learning cost. You can look at it in depth and see what they once hold secret of government insists on control the answers of showing development fusion has to arrive on time to impact transition of the reason by 2030s. We'll miss the boat, but that prevents licensing agreements necessary for innovation. Make here 19. The energy sector has been far from more than agrees to disadvantage energy to engage in sharing, given the rapid tech advances under pressure to deliver the efficiencies necessary for development, planning, and sharing utilities that are returned players take positive steps and profit driven without patents companies running the risk of being exploited. Securing patents puts a stronger population to companies that consider how tech can be adopted to effective ways to derive innovation and licensing. You turn into real assets and partnership. It'll deter crucial investors from entering the industry, driving bankruptcies across the entire sector. Powers at 24. The issue of government access patents is part of the energy department. It's deals targets with the government demand to honor since its core valuation tech is the firm's support to declare bankruptcy. Union's remains for the patent is more pronounced as investors and infusions and investors back startups, fusions, possible patent development checks, energy depletion, cells warming and gets us off the rock, solving all existential threats. Terrell 21. Asteroid or volcanic eruptions could block out the sun's light, producing alcoholic effect. Prepare having an energy source that can keep going. Possible fields will run out. With renewables, susceptible to changes. Fusion is a small disaster will be power source. It's a host of patents that means NIF work only will travel to beyond our celestial backer. Fusion rockets are traveling. Vast otherwise fusion creates enormous exhaust speeds and very small mass producing speeds followed by thousands pulse are effectively banned. Rockets spend at a time to scale extinction from challenging and preventing asteroid comet is reaching an early fusion travels to the vast with rank. It's the time that humanity cannot save the Earth's new home and ultimate insurance policy. Ultimate insurance policy fusion cut down on the time it takes to get to Mars allows for control for unprecedented change in energy reducing demand disease and important tank will not get us so fusion deliver CO2 free. The scale of cyber is the largest safe power source and ingredients also 33 million years usually use even longer less than fuel magnetic confinement reach 97% in a paper. Physics and gain from possible evidence strongly suggests that fusion will produce gains and conditions that are close future is delivered quickly enough to help with climate catastrophe, warming, contractors, extinction. COP23 climate change is the most globally raised to the IPCC identifies irreversible oil transitions that risk have lived in risk have risen, warming. The self-originating Arctic ice collapse and the of the Amazon Pacific cascades, risk cascades, huge security conflict, right natural crisis. Peer-reviewed studies refer to warming as accidental philosopher industry and undermine science and lobbying and political subterfuge carrying oil in the Middle East are triggering new wars. Fusion with extreme downsides, efficient and prevents meltdowns. Baker 22 acid fuel no danger of meltdown. Only waste fusion can offer clean power source that avoids pitfalls and dodge nuclear energy. Existing plants use fission. Fission is you fail by uranium must be mined and refined but stays radioactive. Fusion, however, uses hydrogen, the most abundant element. Fusion merges with isotopes would no longer waste. Meltdowns cause extinction. Hub 14. If you think that Fukushima is bad, the US is vulnerable to the same 124 reactors and anything will happen to this grid. They will have a lot of likelihood of failures. Those experts that will most likely lead to destruction of all humans nuclear power backups, insurance for the constant flow of cooling water, ensures the rise and course not overheat and melt will shine. For a maximum period of 24 hours, a real attack on the power grid can take more than weeks. War generators have already run out of leading reactors to meltdown. Fusion eliminates the scarcity, preventing resources, wars, and opening up the feasibility to rejuvenate cooperation. Cryonis, no 22 fusion creates only nuclear order-based nuclear fusion energy oriented. There's gradual feasibility fusion will mitigate against cold fusion period with juncture introduce a paradigm shift and conflict over resources could subdivide. Geared towards a war and securitization of fossil energy policy from killing prone nature to killing avoiding resulting demilitarizing addressing climate change serves as an information for peace building cohesion. Creates common language and replace peace building paradigm and online through cooperation and consensus build approach through a universal global peace treaty successor of global overseas power rejuvenate UN system. The advantage to is competition, Russian dominance of uranium exports is the backbone for better energy. Hostage keeping Iraq 23. Reliance on nuclear to go no American and Russian uranium due to the promote peaceful program invaded Russia into corner the global market roughly. Third is important we can only hold host plants are vulnerable to Russian shutdown. Russia weaponizes its stranglehold for revision of the occurring Iranian adventurism. Glasgow, Goloshenko 24. A powerful weapon including wars machine is Russia's nuclear energy industry generate dependence and supported ambitions of adversaries and boldest Iran's nuclear program and boldest Iran's adventure, including backing of Hamas. Acknowledged remain vulnerable to weaponization. Moscow uses to circumvent existing sanctions. If the world is to rely on at least more than half of arrangement with a stranglehold. It retains the power for energy weapon investments in the US are ensured decoupling. That draws in global powers new wars. Zolka. Then Ensemble 24. Iran has threatened to advance its program to regional escalation by nuclear threshold, which capability which serves as a target for attacking nuclear program to risk of rapid organization. Israel sees existential threats its elimination target facilities facilities directly lead to escalation through a wider conflict. Iran rushed towards a Iran rushed towards nuclear weapon. Iran withdrawing from the NPT, risk instability, incentivized proliferation can lead to Iran Israel and large scale attack operation result in tracking the US and possibly others into the war. Putin uses uranium to hold the US hostage and threaten energy shocks. Johnson 24. Russia weaponized energy use reliance on Russia to uranium urgent security. Those are reliance Russia's fuels are nuclear fuel putting control order their supply country in Europe and more credible than weaponized use of gas and nuclear operations nervous about a southern embargo questions whether the US increases uranium provided supply assurances. Russian energy competition causes great power war done. 19. Russia can pressure Europe over the way with full scale global conflict. Russia is able to remove the economic pressures without dependence. Russia has exceeding major conflicts in 40 cases of implicit suspension of gas reserves over microaggression and energy. Russia most military intervention dependence on the European restraints its background aggression is impossible due to cessation of gas and after no 2 Russia gets rid of limitations and will move aggressive policy towards NATO. Such aggressive policy may propagate a complex fusion solves it ends uranium reliance spiral. 20. Fusion is the opposite of fission powers. So greater fusion does not produce highly radioactive fission products. Fusion reactors are unstable for fusion, so instead of using uranium, fusion reactors need to use uranium. Enough also means the power of the planet for millions of years. Revitalizing domestic nuclear energy production is key to maintaining non-proliferation norms. On 23. Building out a nuclear fuel infrastructure, pressing a nuclear interdependence on the weapon Russia is importing potential nuclear leadership of uranium will increase nuclear security and proliferation, increasing risk of including competence. In terms of the linchpin use policies, the company that counter this better nukes build up is being no longer meets the domestic needs, but also needing alliances, export, generate revenue, and mitigate proliferation risk. International presence is essential so that we can get higher standards on non-proliferation. New and emerging competitors offering out technology outside the export controls, meaning that transactions are required in licenses by bilateral cooperation. Russia to be weaponizing exports to protect their influence. All in one export include training and financing without the fuel supply building out. Capacity is important step prioritize global standards. Non-proliferation without nuclear fuel classes leverages the proliferation cascades of great nuclear war. Practically two multiple challenges significantly exacerbated the strategies of the bipolar world may not be effective with any positive deterrence and more challenging in the cascade messages that a weak North Korea divided regime while other states will look likely to be followed. 30 states have the technological capacity to build quickly nuclear weapons. Autocratic states are more willing to utilize inherently volatile nature that is revolts of domestic use that constant accessibility rate and volatility regimes have strong. Nations far more likely to use really viable option states are less likely to have nuclear viable arsenals may source have vulnerability, lack of parity, but create stable nuclear capacities and pressures into that strike. That's the plan. The United States federal government should strengthen its protection on nuclear fission. Patents finally solvency patent protection solves increased private investment while also avoiding trade secrets such as the universal development. The Baker 22 fusion has on the path to commercialization. Achieving these goals naturally brings the promise of commercial opportunities. IT are slated to begin testing in 2025. The sector does not have a monopoly. Private sector has expanded. Total number of findings remains relative to the other fusions of likely to ever reach values in military technology, electronics. Value strong protection outweighs the risk of commercialization. It takes time. Patent does not outweigh extremely valuable. Patent to be similar to like one supplier rather than the price that breaks down decisive only if more protected better value to pursuing patents given the complexity of the innovation. Know-how where the non-pursued innovative price of robust policies and trade secrets. Fusion patents are key. R&D costs a lot of lives, meaning only exclusivity solves low and white. 24. Fusion is too complex. IP patents are crucially extractive. That's been competitive advantage. Industry takes emphasis on patents to create revenue, which vital for R&D collaboration. Patent is problematic because of the objective bottlenecks after per generation lives. In a decade must be over to R&D before it realizes IP underscores the environment for highly specialized scale states. So this is stable policy is key to certainty that represents investment. Woodridge. 23. Financial risk is the first base distribution of fusion involving high front cost lines and scale high uncertainty. Investors are also need government support and uncertainty policy incentive will be provided to drive the reallocation of capital. Government policy will be crucial in enabling investors. Political forces are necessarily to come into government funding for marijuana and winter 23. Government funds which allow political influence center of funding reducing the interest rates lobby funding and discounts of quality improved by powerfully because it goes to research and funding and prospecting our run which 19 patents are important in commercialization only on party patents products to expenditures without overusion of payments and for incentive go alone. A second mover dominates and the decarbonization of possible with tried after fusion spells 22 targets and the removal of CO2 goes to look for the chart reduce challenges generation works 11% of the time arrangements of the silver line so improvement solutions speed details turbines are high voltage long distance transmission large scale storage PHs can work only in with suitable level of evolution operation can support of generation electricity batteries compressed air compressors still capacities orders of magnitude. I can send out the 2 extra cards. This milk card is right now.
I didn't send it to you.
Let's take second practice on it, Brandon. 950.
That was not 10 seconds. That was.
Yeah.
Dex.
No prep used. Not sure. Like, I don't know. How much is it?
958.
Oh, they said 950.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
confused.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dog.
I just think these cards. 958. Can you just say the tag?
They're both like pricing steps. It's like political forces and then prospecting.
Okay. I got it. Okay. Political forces, processing, pricing services. Okay, good.
Yeah.
One second. How does nuclear fusion work?
Yeah, it's like the combination of hydrogen atoms to create fusion energy. It uses different resources.
You have a lot of things about like IP can cause innovation. What card says that fusion is possible?
Like
The Terrell card.
yeah,
Torel?
and the last card.
Yeah, and the first card.
I have no idea.
The first card says ITER reactors are beginning testing. The Terrell card says that pen and paper physics have proven that fusion is probably possible, and that experimental.
Pen and paper physics? Is you have any experimental results that prove
Yeah, no. Then it falls on say experimental.
Which card is
Evidence
this?
also suggests this. The Terrell evidence. I think it's closer to that.
Can you
but
show
it's pretty
where
great.
it is?
The Terrell evidence is on advantage one. It's
on advantage one.
I can go back and read like lines.
Terrell 21. Fusion's possible.
Oh, from 2021. Okay. Cool. What kind of
And then the
licensing
ITR is
does
the
he have?
reactor that's developed.
What
into
kind of-
Huh?
And what kind of licensing does he have in Greece?
Well, okay, so the AF would have the DOE, who is right now holding up contracts and having the government march into patent holders' rights to contain fusion. The AF would withdraw those DOE, like,
Yeah, but what
marching
licensing
frameworks.
agreements would happen to us?
I mean, we don't think the AF, like, necessarily mandates increasing licensing agreements. We think that it
It's
creates the locus for-
licensing agreements are prevented now. I'm not asking for topic how, but just to clarify, like what licensing agreements are the ones that are being
like, on the bear card.
yeah, like who's no, like Kieran.
Oh, those are like patents we keep to
Oh, I
licensing. Like otherwise, like they'll
I know, but like how, like who's licensing to who and how does that license work?
The companies developing fusion are exporting their licenses to other countries that want to contribute to
Yeah,
their
that's
advancements.
cool. That's cool. Advantage 2. Your cards are from before May. Biden issued a ban on Russian uranium in May. Why doesn't that zero the advantage?
Yeah, because it got reversed.
You got reversed?
Yeah.
When?
I mean, I don't know the date.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
And it's also, even if there is a ban on uranium, we don't have enough to consistently only use
Your-
our uranium.
Your Iran war scenario is about like just Iran proliferating.
no.
Not really. It's
It's
about
like Israel striking Iran because of the perception that
Israel
Iran,
sees the Iranian nuclear program as an excess of threat.
Yeah.
So
and then that causes strikes, and then Iran will like retaliate, drawing in the U.S.
how does he have solved that?
It reduces the strength of Iran's nuclear energy program, or the perceived strength.
And how does it do that?
yeah, because it doesn't allow Russia to dominate uranium exports or the control of nuclear power. It gives other countries that are
Why does that connected to Iran's uranium?
Huh?
Why is that connected to Iran's nuclear?
Yeah, because Iran only gets its uranium resources from Russia, and Russia exports it when they feel like they have a control of nuclear power
But the
supply.
U.S. having a stronger nuclear power supply doesn't mean they
Well,
can.
No,
everyone's
because they can
exporting
export it. The same way that Russia exports uranium, the US can export like the other elements like tritium and tritium.
Okay, but that makes Israel stronger, not Iran weaker.
No, the Lashchenko administration that like
The US wouldn't export
checking
those
that.
to Israel.
Doc was sent. It's going to be 9 off fusion advantage and competition advantage. Can I roll this in?
Yeah, go for it. Just you can't make it taller if you want.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm not tall enough. Okay.
The bottom is also a little bit taller than it's supposed to be.
That's true.
Oh, that thing is also kind of brilliant. Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen a table tilt which wasn't.
It's, can you set to download it?
Yeah, for sure. I got the timer rank. Alright. Okay.
I still need a sec.
Cool.
Alright. I am good.
Okay. Is anybody not ready?
First off, is unilaterally increasing all US IP protection to offset international IP harmony and purchase special 301. You spend around 92. Give protection to US IP. This special 301 and health authority government against burn off right adequate protection for US IP to record US investigations marketing messages 01 expenditure to overrun. US countries that protection. United Nations retaliation of US action for US trade relations and relation be revoked. The government doesn't protect these really good administrative parties right overtain like you can launch with the visible. Need to use special 301 cannot say by Richard European. It's removing special 301 breaks international trade regulation to greenlighting protection system child. 90 instead of 301 US IP. United States trade with the terror Chinese opposing with all these controversial as you know whether it be violated obligations of the others of the revenues legal lies and further the short term about the trade and also measure that can was violations. Yeah, one those disputes escalation 19. Escalation usually allowed by the US trade organ organizational terrorist media. Rose equivalent lord areas and exercise subsidies this country that are going to be rules of change of trade war constitution Saki 95 the safety world awareness building and major multi-lateral nuclear war placement national and state graduation models of nuclear energy security about your nuclear trade and hot box with the US forces need for whatever sort of legislation you don't want protection made the whole order of police and European lease escalation national global picture knowledge the world we're following the US is the war with it there's also multi-lag kind of the US should propose striking the production of nuclear fusion pads and amendments to trips the industry to comply with the amendment for prohibit the production of intellectual property rights domestically we get signed production match minimum centers proposed like shows the kind of solution 94 One of that other measures from the was I do the again. Most of what I ever ran to the United War Physical Trade is among that rules for use of the gap. It's about a development world organization. The force not existing children agreements. Next, obviously, good idea. Kind of the United States. Lots of strength is a production of nuclear future paths. If and only if it's a good idea, there's a risk of climate. It's a bad idea. Voting on presumption, entropy, and if you have passed, but not force of blood circuit. That's a good debate. Or two, not that action of obviously the effect of the blood. The most economics reverse. Vessels of people who like with the circumvent. Next, obviously, subsets. It means threat. That's a VPA violation. The opposite subset patents. The vote next, the limits of anything else. Infinite specific copyright trademarks. Or patents out that no like every topic generic. Next, is a politics in defense, but it will pass out of course by Western agreement. Shall in Party 11 12, not to repeat or train a full by party agreement, and this ability extra for the states. Doing 16 many states, there was able to influence the battle agreement, how to do so. It was a lot of question. One down, let's string the navy flies in the face of the political contestant. They're all like three, also which one from the role from regard to we're not sure if you're many. Other than the influence of also interesting, have used for go over and check that we have used tool in equity. Leadership mission goals, failure works results, fail shift. L8, what you determines the problem, the usually military and social basic major vessel, or the university of never check. The letter on every piece of the during the culture has any, not the phone, the results, dramatically good security. Sorry, no restoring to that goes nuclear chemical development the more dangerous for the Caribbean track wars here to the China. No, voice for battle. Then also the localization of the region of the and the brain. But in the conflict that use the major results. And so, use was crucial next up the judicial review. Council of the United States Congress should answer the passes warning bill striking each profession nuclear fusion paths. The president of the United States should veto the bill. So United States administration. This should definitely rejection against the veto Congress to the staffing body. Eventually, the increase in fortune and all the instruments. Provision nuclear fusion paths results. It could be in court to nuclear fusion applicant judicial review and IP cases that cause difference between other sectors. It should the definite rejection included a positive court against the president. Could say yes or veto. No, 20. And one part of the judicial review of the media that is just not to feel for being the judgment of the takes a lot of resources. Not the guys just handling the things that handling hours the executive officials. I think the LG permits it. None of course there's like the future is necessary to install strategy in universities. No, designing the amount of energy release these rules are usually dangerous. Terrorism, disease, famine, and equivalents are likely judicial independence. It contains the impact of 2019. Goes back to the American world face. National independence, terrorism, violent desire. That's one intention of everybody, their resources and management of the financial service, cohesion for his manager, taking advantage of the political wheelhouse. I think a broader origin was all branches of judicial beliefs, right? People have to destroy every future on earth, including Mormon disease, famine, and decimation of animal species, of course, with all countries, one for planning and coordination, next observable system, plans, and rules of rough shift, and legal shift that collapse to the faith, of liberalization of the dependabilities, and all law, Mr. 1927, Court of Revolution, pathology, mention, violence, the church, of Pharaoh, they don't overdo their rest of our making estimate, vision, patent laws, stable, political, then all the mention of regardless of the change the laws, help, or harmful matters, or expectations, believe, change the baby before with their main disrupting reliances, dress, SCSC, still less than the edifice regulatory law that spills over verses 21, realize the liberalism, rules, mention, regulatory review, reliance, running, and sorry, just, data, regulation, and realize the best way, then it was regulated without exam, first tables, and the trigger regulatory, all rules, establishing judicial interpretation, one over, establishing judicial interpretation, the last filter, the expectation, causing planning, operating, and honestly, visualize, accessibility, once you operate investment, infrastructure, capital, intensive pieces, the areas most central, digital laws, and next, obviously, Ohio, counterpart, the state of Ohio should be all necessary resources of highlights construction, the operation, the American Center for Future Land, I think is in Ohio, the United States government should offer providing resources for the state of Ohio, request for construction, and the American Center for Future Land, game over. The Ohio Center for Future also is prepared to be athletes. Their author, one is he, part of the physically friend, right now, no, you get the US out of the predicament, all the energy, financial worship, with fishing, such a cruise, in Ohio, you know, name, well, the university of the more controversial venture of uranium, critical development of next generation reactors, evolution, right? The design stage next is the fusion advantage, nuclear fission is high now, the components for 3 genesis, and the Renaissance fundamentals, including rapidly inclusive policies for we'll focus on green energy, nuclear systems, and role to play the future energy national work easier as people experience disrupted supply to was a watershed of the landscape supporting nuclear illusion and EU taxonomy was the worst of anybody and taxonomy included nuclear fusion disruption and energy represents the average of lower capacity will not solve warming ultimately current just in the next decades of the planet visual not control and they solve the energy before magnet loss of the organization as well as looking at the source of energy I wanted engineering challenges for decades of never prototype by 2040 is not like they written it's 8 miles before 2050 fusion is not fast enough over just 23 digital 10 years we come right reality main after soon fusion will not get to net zero 2050 goals fusion is impossible thing for you physical fusion fusion red balls around what was impossible humanly ready to get to fusion fusion is to take another fission was fusion fusion come and all these research down some energy was learning about no one advice that destruction is cycle fusion fails after 23 then fusion present more than position with that will use all these necessarily closer and 90 days through all less only 10 minutes they were reducing far beyond over 100 times much energy operation of 20 minutes these guys all have also the like for how rapid no rapid conversion is water breakdown of that high temperature pressure then they will be before 2030 but emissions was based division was no external climate impact and emissions also in 24 adaptation the normal pressure is worse than all the activities and all the common world the actually says about the pretty world that should be no energy research and worse is forming but is your reaction to the more low opposition and I'm ready to go to higher resource version it was a religion or a radiation and allowing to provide repression of the largest areas unrealistic more than what we want to do or is there's an alternative or just not limits the innovation of one of the energy series be grossly inadequate but evidence for behind this is an national barrier of the conversation as your ocean the answer and the evidence of the global century any hazard majors adaptation capitalism driven colonies and causes international wars in 23 As the international fast food space, in and one bush has energy walls from the world seas or girls from God. They learn also much of the power of the hands of the leaders, especially over the ready to develop and rehearse and these areas of natural basically tribal isolation, which is for most of opposite nationalization spaces, we institutions, music, depending upon our matter capital colony, small dot, first anniversary reversal, 2020, especially the experts who are reversal, the very applies, more difficult to dangerous case reversal, media, addition to a urban force, solid effect, original version here, and report of international organization, nuclear genetic, the process of wars with the incident of ranking or declaration of design machines or multiple just will meltdowns are contained in logo across the really exchange of very helpful most of what we can do in the appreciate the effect of the cancer direction levels in our levels and exchange of very good plans experience the major accidents and pandemics will come whatever and the competition advantage. Neutron Israel will destroy the war and the news will remain seen by Israel and Iran or we destroy the industry and also the from citizens and the company and hours and the national security of the church and everyone is this is listening to disable the general business of the government and everyone is watching the national after the necessary every capacity for seven use of our share of uranium the other 24 humanity Saturday church we want to do all the people in the 40 uranium for humanity for fresh domestic production will continue with those who building capacity if they are the after all fusions of past years contact easily every case of after the media Russia cut off the current geopolitical climate is also left also donate Russian use of wide for the electricity Russian raising uranium all shipments of short uranium dependencies to increase in the 22 which are rendering the land is war entry retiring nuclear share of 90% of the US already the nuclear energy but only 24 US mostly the Russian China companies and activities in Russia introduces the world eventually for the US culture in US leadership because the game country one of the US huge demand in over US Russia war but which what we are in 23 global leadership because Russia is the case negative Russia is very hopeful the war doesn't for the Russian military to make sure that the only way that's not so Russia is like Russia figure out what is your god
do you have any card at combat?
Okay, a lot was skipped, so can you just tell me what it was?
Yeah, sure. That's gonna be the last two cards in the Reliance Disad, the Advantage Counter Plan. The cards below the Bronze card on Advantage 1. The first four cards on Advantage 2. That's all I skipped.
Okay, cool. I want to talk about the Reliance Disad. What's the impact?
It'd be pretty messed up if we, pulled the rug out from
It's straight turns
below.
to
Yeah, it also straight turns us.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Anyways, okay, I want to talk about the judicial review counter plan.
Yep.
So kind of explain to me what like the DOE does in this process.
What do you mean?
React to the bill? Like, what is it? What happens to the Department of Energy? What is mandated?
The counter plan doesn't fiat the Department of Energy.
Okay.
To the extent that the plan would implement a policy regarding
Well, the bill would like prohibit the Department of Energy from seizing all the patents.
Okay, and
I do.
Congress passes the
Congress.
bill, President vetoes it,
Mhm.
and then the court overturns the veto.
they issue a declaratory judgment against the veto.
And does that mandate that the veto is null?
It does not mandate that it is null, no. We think it would result.
Okay, and then the Macedo card says it would result in it being.
Yeah,
rendered
I
null.
think so.
Okay, I want to talk about the politics disad show link evidence. Where does it say? I guess like I'm confused about the uniqueness evidence. Is it just like consensus is the only thing that we need for the NDA to get through?
Yeah, sustained bipartisanship.
Okay, and how does IP trade off with that?
The argument the Zell card makes is that in the past decade or so, IP has become kind of this thing where consensus on the Hill is that it needs to be weakened, if not, at the very least, not strengthened. It's understood to be kind of like a tool for corporate enrichment that is seen as politically toxic, because the political environment now tends to favor anti-corporate sentiment from both sides.
Okay, the Schultz card says Johnson's keen on adding a spin to the funding cycle, which is a laddered approach of seeing rolling deadlines for funding. Why does just one small IP policy mean that like these rolling deadlines, all of them go away?
What do you mean? The argument
That's
that it
okay.
makes is that there's a rolling deadline and that the continuing resolution might be pushed forward.
Sure, net benefits.
Mike?
Multilat is unilat. Good idea is internal. Judicial review is internal.
Okay, so
And Ohio is all the dissents?
Yeah.
Not. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know, you want to say politics?
Just politics.
Yeah.
okay, and then last question, status.
Status quo is always the logical option.
Yes, right now.
Aside from T, procedural reasons, check the T.
No, none.
Got you.
Just to make sure I got it.
How long did it take to write this text?
Which one?
That never got read.
I don't know, man. Guess.
Like 20
Mike's the one who did it. I think he just compiled a bunch of different shit.
We skipped it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah I do. No, I just sent you
Yeah, we just-
something on Slack, you just have to make it into a block.
I can just do it from there.
No.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, I think I read all this.
Just put a loss.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Should be good. 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Order advantage 1, advantage 2. T. The Ohio counter plan. Wait. Skip. So, oh wait. Block. Right, so they don't have to sound okay. After T, Ohio counter plan, then the multi-lat counter plan, then the judicial review counter plan, then the good ideas counter plan, the reliance dissad, the NDAA dissad.
Can I get after Ohio one more time?
Yeah, multi-lat counter plan, judicial review counter plan, the good ideas counter plan, and the unilat dissad, unwise dissad, NDAA.
You sent it?
Yeah, it's been said.
I get it.
It's on the right change. Well, we went.
I can check.
I don't know yet.
Oh, I have nothing.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I see it?
Okay, I'm good whenever.
I need 1 second. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm done.
1-to-1 fusion hides half uniqueness argument is that we need to fusion not go away, but fusion is down now, which would be done below. Now 1T, 2, and 3 group it. Yes, solvency is fast and done by the end of the decade, and every other alternative fails. 1T, 4 and 5 group them. Both of the quals are both terrible to be highly skeptical of major offense. Fusion is possible. One experience studies have confirmed that energy gain is achievable. That's Terrell. 2 commercialization breakthroughs allow feasibility by the end of the decade. That's Barrett and Woolley. 3 pen and paper. Basic physics have proven attainability. That's Terrell. 4 the consensus of field. Other experts in the laws of physics overwhelmingly support fusion. Study 24, the recovery of the fusion, positive charge with the processor enrolling the study, shows the cycle in decarbonization fusion powers that the sun based on the unexpected equation of self-ice and shared domain for 10,000 years causes found a solution using acidosis, uranium, and tritium, efficiency, fusion activity, 19% of neutrons combined to create a new nuclear fusion research yielded impressive results. Now, 1C6 is wrong. Yes, climate impact, warming causes 10 points, I guarantee environmental class knock effects cause pandemics, and nuclear that's can't prefer their evidence funded by fossil companies, which is all the kept evidence now. This is basically bad. Group one is one outweighs avoiding inevitable asteroids, comets, super volcanoes, or magnetic extinction makes a chart any risk of defense means outweighs to the link, pursue colonization, inevitable Russia, China, space runs will not inevitably develop commercial hubs or flight for asteroid mining or tourism to some level of competition inevitable. 3 interstellar war and competition spending Sturkovich. And then 19 magical effects did not be realized under physics example whatever a galaxy destroying a weapon interstellar warfare is not more than a delay in logistics and highly unlikely and positive effects have advantage and plundering out simply not viable ways of undefended and war requires at the same time research required for a trial force chart died large numbers meaning extinction in double space governments. So they're concocted sci-fi nonsense. Coverage 18 from probabilistic view of humanity kind will go extinct long term probabilities. One something go wrongs may highlight not discerning and balanced serial colonization that make best outcomes more possible. Now they say restraint. They say meltdowns are contained. That's wrong. Our evidence is hyper specific and cites the best experts. It says that it confirms that it releases massive environmental waste across the nation. That's the health evidence, but it does not seem a grid attack which causes shockwaves throughout the globe. Drop the resource scarcity impact, fusion currents, conflict, or false through abundance, opening global peace. Let's be honest. Advance it. 1T1 is wrong, and threatening good energy causes the Australia strikes, sparks parallel, that sparks a research escalation, draws a great power sense, doesn't cover it. This level 1T2 in like prove all the fusion, US not depend on uranium right now. This wrong. Our evidence is hyper specific to uranium to Russia, and it says it comparatively has lead, even if the US is not specifically dependent on other countries, and others are, which still guarantees every impact. Now they say it's years away. That's wrong. Our evidence says it comes at the end of the decade. Now they say the dependency of lead is decreasing now with the interest above US lead, and now it's also interest above. Actually, it's a question of comparative lead, which is not present by the evidence. Energy reliance causes great power war for extraction, aggression, and crowd trying to NATO. That's then left pro causes great power war, weak second target, and political instability guarantee, cost deterrence, and it's by use. That's brown. T subs. 1 immediate plan for extensions all future patterns. 2 plan text of vacuum is only on large scenario. 3 count to include substance KT. 9 define answer without LASA not complete inside. 4 per background. They'll be long only 3 options getting like infinite predicts B predictably. We the best definition. Hyper become meaning. C strength is modifier implies. It does not have to be universal. 5 functional and speech and like back hacking. And future picks find every app. 6 readability can be interest cause race bottom. And so crowd go to the camera. 1 per vote in any combination because it has Ohio support. It has perception of Ohio support and plan 2 from the campaign. 3 multiple cameras of best keys out time. And magnifies offensive conduct 4 links that benefit. It still takes so the US action 5 can solve 8 sufficient reactor not fusion which may cancel any advantage. 1B is just 1 reactor which is insufficient. Cost by the last part of the first advantage about how the UNC the bolster throughout 6 multi-active is bad. It limits all deficits and inflate combination. Rule P 7 comes bad. No cost taking distance out of the classical strategy. This was solved. Multi-campaign. 1 permanent combination, the reason powered by C, 2 permanent component, 3 components function, technical benefits, self ground, objectivity, intermittent net benefits, any other interest, situation, fairness, 4 permanent component plan, 5 links and net benefits, still tricks some use action that guarantees develops. The reason why multiply is specifically key. 6 you can solve A certainty, any first patterns, first invention, and investors class of value propositions bear in no Windbridge, B, W2Z, Cobalt 24. The US still the WTO rules and impunity, no judge unable, and function rules the field of countries. I take for your basis, no easy as a thing to enforce right C, no agreement. Cobalt 24. I believe you say blockage generated frustration, against one another, they say without losers negotiating for anything. I agree, prospect of those 2, the 3 1 is 7 no net benefit, in a spell, the reason 1 is actually, yeah, they don't do that. Just review. 1 per 2 per component, 3 prospect competition, 4 per component in the plan, 5 per plan, and the component of the other issues. Global send the X6 can solve A certainty, prospect a certainty, and B core decision inherently create uncertainty. Killers 11. The legal system is certain about whether law remain the same. The visual uncertainty is advantageous of original laws. Efficacy. The office notorious loaded with ideology. The power boards the petrol uncertainty. The SC has become a celebrity justices who operate like political arbiters make law. Let's settle. See actually. Yeah. 7 no net benefit, is one reason 1 is sufficient. B, their advocates about preclusion of conflict inter-parties review, not all of P, it says not people, which means veto fails, that's inserted. C, their evidence says that other branches, non-government action can solve, it says that courts have role, not that they're sufficient by themselves. D, it's also explicit that judicial independence bad, and the democratic checks got the net benefit that's inserted. Good ideas.
Go back to judicial review, permanent the plan, and
Permanent
and don't increase court.
and don't increase court. What?
Don't increase court drilling. Permanent the plan and do not increase court drilling.
Do not increase court. Okay.
You're not counting? Okay, I'll just go to this.
Yeah, go into this.
Section 3.1 is said. 1. Section 3.1 used to side and right now. 0. 24. Section 3.1 Trump's willing to act unilaterally, service close guidance by the package of steps extended restate exclusion. There, after reasons, context increased use under Trump that's inserted, and it also conceded multiple hours of fields use. Will definitely continue that's inserted. 2. The insurance about tariffs on steel and aluminum that's inserted. 3. Protections high and commodity. 24. Tariffs coming and Trump is effective unleashing new friends against from China extended trade war China pushing tariffs for it while causing Trump the WTO subsidies etc. all overturn final link US one increased application to plan other IP protections from the 1986 no protections in fact it's conflict driving saying exactly commitment increasing complement efficiency value there trade associated the commercial base circles negative power they overall restraint trade generates commitment from studies theorized conflict is bargaining breakdown go back up to the good ideas conflict. 1. Promote 2. Confident 3. Plan file ought to strengthening is anti-grammatical and impossible. 4. Notice that's no law of intended consequences. 1. Simplistic will always apply to broadly make it seem like it's used for an action to a perfection. Unintended consequences can be anticipated. The counter general fiat is plain force debate. Suggestion not would action firm vote neg and only if it's a good idea. They can link back which classes distinct account if and only if campus second competition. We can possibly act because there's always a risk the opposite idea. Cross by deficits from that. What else to say? 1. Sir, this is dead. 24. Decision lower overturn long settled on places disreputable reference equal to disrespect that undermine confidence and the 22 overrode way 2. Trying to actions return to historical present application. 3. No spiller. 3. No spiller. And the reason my future is critical to other fields. 4. All cause of doctrines which are non-delegation are greatly more important. 5. No impact loop. 21. Describe me rule of law class in history such as otherwise on each occasion detection and correction and constitution provided remedy and legislative correction has been the secretary of local controversy and survived court has been said by confirmation process classify that to the judicial review complex. 6. Absolves, which is all in the case. 7. Other attempts to fail decarbonization fails with their kinds of technology and energy resources. The last card in the warning C. 8. Enable Dennis follows all the shipping so any court ruling triggers link NDA. 1 will pass over 11, 12. Johnson said you oppose the omnibus around the holidays, so balance of power, return to the caucus, hopefully you spend fields on partisan basis that makes another stop money. Broader funding play, likely 2, not distant, not just the reason the government to play and pass it, or fiat calls the link by providing support. During passage 3, turn effort to back by partisan support across Congress. That's bare 4, HTC avoid backlash. Turn break. No 17, Congress should link the HTC research contest and found it can make HTC the Q has positive deniability. Even relations should ignite the word positive HTC full twist and maximize credit and mid Congress gauge and focal glass packaging. 5, PC's fake. 21, press parts limited sales only for members to open to change size makes the plan station influence concept most board based on polarization like to change no voting signal link or evidence in context judicial IP expansion not the app 7 Trump solves impact externally led by Biden's president insert 8 time payments match method internal is about long term funding for children it's not short term and the new Trump system maturity solves as soon as he comes in office 9 Matt Gates proves the Republican infighting is double 11 double done unique surveillance links is considered must pass legislation which is all their evidence insert their card it says that the delayed funding will be severely delayed or funding will be severely delayed not delayed.
Okay. You progress?
Yeah.
Theory was cool. You got all of them. Right. The only one which applies to multiple counterparts is content.
Maybe multi-plane counterplanes and multi-actor. I don't think you have multi-actor. I think multi-plane counterplanes.
I guess. So you made the argument. Let's go to the case. So the fusion advantage. You made the argument that solvency is fast because alternatives fail. Why does that logically follow?
Wait, no, that wasn't the argument. The argument was
what's
that
the argument?
solvency is fast because it happens by the end of the decade, or evidence says that like reactors are coming online like right now, but like continue innovation.
Okay, which reactors are coming on?
The
ITR.
ITR, yeah.
ITR. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
That's the first part of the page.
I guess the meltdowns argument. Why do you solve the grid attack?
What?
Why do you solve the grid
Well,
attack?
we saw the impact of the grid attack. The warrant is that like adversaries will attack the entire grid of the U.S.
Yeah.
But that will collapse all nuclear reactors, which causes extinction because reactors cause extinction. But the app prevents those reactors from like shutting down and releasing radioactive waste. So like y'all can't impact turn this and say like grid attacks, grid vulnerability is good because
Okay,
it's not
I'm not
military.
gonna try to impact this. My question is just like, okay, I guess the impact level itself. What is the mechanism by which U.S. reactor meltdown kills everyone on Earth?
Our evidence says that experts have concluded that every reactor in the U.S. shutting down would immediately cause extinction.
Yeah, but why?
Because it releases mass radiological release. Like imagine like 100.
How does it get to like?
Imagine 124 Fukushimas happening at one time. That would instantly destroy the environment, instantly destroy the
Okay,
world.
but Fukushima didn't go beyond Japan. Why would these?
Yes,
Okay, but
because
Villain,
it's the scope of the internal link. It's
I got it.
124.
Also, Villain, you have to think about it logically. If like the entire U.S. just like catastrophic radiation event happens, food that gets exported to other countries gone. The U.S. likely to attribute it to some other actor. Could use some strike somewhere, gone. Assurance is gone.
Strike.
The world would just be in chaos. Like,
I guess the fusion possible stuff. Where is the card that says that it's consensus?
It's consensus.
Why do you think that says that? Like, do you think this card says that everyone thinks
Study shows decisive role in decarbonization, and then it says
It
things
says
like
study
Einstein's.
singular.
It says Einstein's equation, and then it says quote scholars have found a solution using isotopes, deuterium, and tritium, which is like scholars is
Is tritium
consensus.
necessary for fusion?
Not necessarily. Our evidence says
How do you do fusion without
it can
tritium?
also use hydrogen, and it can also use deuterium.
No. Like hydrogen is part of a separate process during fusion than tritium is. Like tritium is part of the foundation.
Okay, below you can explain this. I don't really know.
What was your question?
Like, why is
Tritium necessary or no?
Okay, so like achieving nuclear fusion without using tritium is like part of active research. It's usually been used in fusion experiments right now, but there is deuterium fusions. It involves using 2 deuterium nuclei, and it's abundant in seawater, so it's still feasible.
Okay.
There's
Do you have a piece of
applications.
card which talks about the non-tritium fusion experiments?
No, I just know about it.
I
Okay,
think
cool.
the cards
Makes sense.
probably talk like they probably
But
refer to
I'm
it.
pretty sure it might be one of the cards, but like
That's fine.
I don't think it's like highlighted.
958. Okay, you didn't read the should definition anywhere else, right?
No, I didn't read it. Basically.
It will depend on things. You'll take care of all. Yeah, not that, but
And volume never sent our tests.
yes, they were sent in the body of the email if you wanted to talk.
Okay,
I also included there's no text, but I also included like the perm that I made on Kitsay just for clarity of what it was.
And all of these, none of these are on multi-lap?
Most of that,
We did not
like,
Yeah,
permanent
just
time
maybe-
within plan
yeah.
is like maybe another one. Not really, but
Thanks. 17. Where's my QAC? Everyone good for an order?
Yeah.
Multi-lap, Unilap, Ohio, Fusion, Compatibles.
You said fusion then competitors?
Yeah.
Alright. I take my clothes.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
Neither did I.
Let me know.
I just got it. I'm over here.
I'm good.
Click on Sunday after the United States federal government banned tariffs under Section 301 and Section 232 unless specified by the Special 301 report. So we see counterparts a good one conditionality justifies the logic grants instruction and flex to its construction includes the absence interpretation self-serving arbitrary, which forces substance to be out with the afternoon. Redefine the interpretation to exclude the one that's after it's been read. It's not topical, which also answers every single theory argument. Three casting the see counterparts essentially strengthens unpredictable advantages. Atlas solves the absence, it comes to the absence. Infinite prime force means the ability to reject the argument, not the team. And the cost of substance ground to do both fails. Inclusion plan makes it unilateral. It's not a counterpart, does not generate uniqueness. Only generates uniqueness, does not guarantee it. And resets the status quo back to zero, putting the US back in tandem with international IP by complying with minimums. The future protection breaks the equilibrium, creating a disharmony and mismatch between domestic and international IP that allows the US to use Special 301. Citing other countries like following on its recent doesn't make general evidence. The permutation to the counter plan is severance. It does not mandate expanded law or protect IPR. Fias the opposite, banning the plan's domestic policy, solvency by effects. Via follow-on plan 2, only Fias enforcement and the amendment passes. Competition shall be solely based off mandate. Anything else eliminating scribe because states could cause follow-on. They do not say should. It's not certain that would be new to the 1 year. So you know the mandate of the plan is certain to counter plan amends international IP law. Which supported the domestic IP because of states acting isolation IP law is confined to the borders of states allowing absent the international exposed limits. Of course, could domestic DA grounds allowing absent the uncertain means that they can circumvent themselves, which makes it impossible to be negative. You cannot plan to plan and think they said this because they said it in private and flow, but it's illegitimate. It's interested in adding an explicit declared as neither in the plan or the counterplan service immediacy. From summer study for this should mean must loss immediately effective posted in the future. Anything else makes it impossible for a negative to debate because it can be in time frame which makes policy to send any backlash to sense that are based on the status quo non-unique and impossible to debate. They say word WTO is dead, irrelevant now, or the benefit certainty is zero because they say yes and follow on to the plan, yeah, and they do say yes. WTO agreement's card is absolutely zero because it says that a few states would disagree and could cancel the entire agreement. There's no reason for them to say no in the first place. They say yes. The rules are banned in 1994 trips consideration for countries allowed to claim its first 10 years. They'll say yes. You know the middle income countries develop. U24 middle income countries found successfully have the international standards allowed by trips agreement. Powerful WTO members obtain the great share of benefits provided in increasing engagement China with Russia receiving those benefits and trips in position steps to those developed counterparts posting embrace higher ranking international to their countries position taken by China ASEAN as conditions improve countries become more active participating in developing countries support the negotiating positions so talent. The softly development side of local countries move out the grab reduce de facto ban on special 301 restores WTO credibility, getting all members on board by making the US look like people policy and good faith outright 21 that leads to this being seminal. China was persuaded to act as the US and had ruled its founding just had measures and false ID. Directors trying to be illegal. US benefits and implausible to arguments about the instructions. No, except the rules of WTO members. US enforces global rules based system portrayed its proposal for reformer in good faith. The last part about international cooperation fails if special 301 is there to disrupt it in the first place. Common language does not matter. When Trump is tariffing the life out of you, the counterpart, the voice of the benefit. Germany's uniqueness sets domestic IP laws and strips minimum standards which slashes the basis for special 301 use. No tariffs can be made if there is no special 301, which only the plan causes all the worst and caused by unilateral special 301. The counterpart solves and reverses because there's no longer a reason to do special 301. Restores credibility and removes distortion created. The unilateral is that trade war outweighs magnitude costs of trade, removes economic constraints and military aggression, as far as resource insecurity that triggers nuclear isolation, global hotspots such as Ukraine, Europe, and the Middle East, independently U.S. led trade order, preserves most of the not necessary to mitigate inevitable existential shocks to climate, fusion, nuclear probe that's stalking. This faster evidence is recent, describes ongoing conflict that can easily escalate when time for outweighs you. Only the once in control direction of case evidence explicitly says nuclear should be enough to get rid of all of it. The first three arguments all about thumbs. Yes, this side is terminally thumped, but we have rendered brink evidence is from literally a month ago, which is why the thumper does not apply. The next special 301, the next set of terrorists that are invigorated by Trump are what's going to cause the US to take over into a trade where all of the thumpers are true, because special 301 has been used over the past 3 years. But our uniqueness evidence solves all our uniqueness counterplan solves all of that, because all of those terrorists will be reversed and there's no longer any special 301. The two other cards we read about Trump, all causes the tariffs are about Trump. The Sunni counterplan above solves because Trump out. Tariff unless justified by a special 301. Report. Those are the only mechanisms for tariffs. We get the answers today. We're going to say that special 301 Trump can increase tariffs outside of section 301, but we also have evidence to suggest the contrary. They say won't increase these in the 1980s. That's completely irrelevant because they have already been increasing. The plan is the justification for special 301. I send link here. The plan is laying protection small special 301. The plan is a unilateral bolt from the blue increase in IPR, which makes the U.S.'s domestic IP comparatively stronger than other countries' self-assess international harmony and IPR protection that provides the basis for the U.S. to use special 301 to bully other countries in mirroring our policies through escalatory tariffs. That's Victor and his hand to special 301 not being to parts of the U.S. All countries from two jobs. Rooms to create those station by itself. No further in allowing innovation to flourish. This is especially they want to see evidence when they're saying that they allow the U.S. to expand its agreements internationally. The fact that there's this harmony between U.S. and European IP law means that those countries that try to license them out internationally are not going to get the same protection, which causes tariffs. Future tariffs involved every single WTO member to start trade conflicts bilaterally. It's a fatal violation of and encourages retaliatory responses. It's not trial evidence. Yes, trade impacts. One, our evidence is about perception. Even if the absence of trade does not, even if the existence of trade does not solve where the absence of trade causes it. Our second evidence is that trade means that countries perceive the United States to be avoiding conflict, but anything else means the U.S. will try to engage in war, which is terrible. Defense is also wrong. It does not assume present conflict can end by now, so either ongoing or armed. The precedent sheer trade collapse ensures the escalated sheer complexity of geopolitics makes it riskier. It estimates mitigation of accidental threats. That's the wrong. The directionality is wrong. It's also the most of the recent studies prove home for even every move of sovereign got had consequences nations within the conflict great powers deeply dependent on trade, access, security, necessity, and anticipate positive trade. Peaceful access, fear losing access toward this. It's within DNA of politics to explain both world wars inciting the benefits of trade to avoid conflict and runs of wars. Society 45 offers hope. Now the Ohio counterplan theory was done above reasonability, rejecting the argument that the team anything can be multi-factor or multi-plane. They can be rewritten otherwise, and they're infinitely arbitrary. Permutations both links to politics will be extended in one another. Does not link to that benefit because it's not political. You should just take plane 2, but our links are about IP, so it's relevant. The counterplan does not touch intellectual property fission. That fusion is relevant because it solves the entirety of advantage 2. It should be just yes, no, because they don't have any evidence supporting the claim that one reactor is insufficient. I know it sounds incredible. The conclusion of their internal link evidence says that empowering this one nuclear weapons reactor is enough to delete all of our nuclear dependency on Russia and to develop uranium, which is enough. Because it gets us off dependency. It doesn't justify world peace. Judging plane 2, if it is bad, conditionality is good. 1, they flex affirmative and national side back to best offense into the 2EC, anticipated by a lack of offense against 3 huge topic areas. Of course, multiple 1 and C options. 2, arbitrariness above, 3, reasonability above, 4, diminishing margin utility, adding more IPC peace and value to the strategic liabilities. This will sucks. 1, negative effects and factors have choice. 2, the restrictions best answers 2EC always reset. 3, college terms research for security. At least you find the Hasic quantity that beats generic. The fusion and advantage fusion fails. Let's end this debate. Both advantages are relying on the idea that we can escape energy dependence and use energy sustainably. 1, recency or evidence is 2 is more recent than their results prefer. Represents new scientific consensus we haven't evolved since 1980s. 2, viability. Nuclear fusion is weak. Experimental results exactly from the same reactor they cited. Lasted a tenth of a nanosecond. And also not sufficient because the energy inputted was 10 times more than the energy generated. Proves this deficit. Above on that, all the energy was 10 minutes of an energy that a small home would use. Nowhere close to sufficiently filling all the power in just or commercialization. 3, obstacles. Reactivity, high pressures to make it impossible to scale up. 4, physical limitations. It's humanly impossible. Fusion is simultaneously violent and impossible to slow down. Enough destruction. 1, psychosciences have absolutely lost it. Now we have all of our math, so it's enough to solve all of it. But even if solvency is too slow, or science is only possible by 2050, this is not just an apt impact or slow, but apt cannot scale technology fast enough to build any time to solve their impacts. 1C agrees with us. And something to highlighting here. Both 1C cars about fusion possible are paid off and not recent enough, which is done all above the evidence cites tritium, which is wrong. And that's 1, 2. Tritium incredibly repeated than 60 best, which is still in the case with Tom. Well, only get worse is lost in the 2C. The card is only about tritium. So every single other form of nuclear fission the fusion does not have evidence supporting it, which is the bar that you need to get to. This is why any commercialization claim, there's no worse for pandemics, nuclear war, and take too long, inevitably no climate impacts. It is way too slow where evidence is clear, but 1 tries to indicate that survival for an extreme world climate is likely to application ecological and tech transition, which is all done above, but everything it is not try or die, which I'll have the one in our read a card on. There's no evidence saying that extinction is inevitable. No meltdowns. In fact, actually not enough to disprove all empirics. Species are locally only affects cancer in the direct environment. No resource was trying to foresee violence and resource capacity go hand in hand. Protesting and church practice work careful violence by the less fortunate violence. Corrective actions result participate fluctuations from awareness of relative deprivation while occasionally occur when general capacity is increasing. The effort required to catch up is much greater than expected, and this very encouraging against failure to deliver a high standard of living.
1 and L2 advantage 2.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about the dissed. I guess you asserted broadly like tariffs are uniquely high now and are unique with P. You asserted that your evidence is from a month ago, but your uniqueness evidence from the 1C is from 920.
The impact evidence is
the
from
impact evidence. Okay, but like section 3.1 been used a long time.
I
Why
know.
isn't that triggered an impact?
Because we've been gradually deteriorating towards the collapse trade.
Gradually deteriorating. What's the brink for that?
Like next
What's the
couple
brink for
months,
a collapse?
Trump tariffs next
Trump
year.
tariffs? Okay, wait. Trump
be.
tariffs is the impact, I guess.
No, not just Trump tariffs. Just like the next year's special 301 will trigger the link.
Okay, so I guess if the
How do trade wars happen?
Like as per the dissed.
Yeah.
So
but yeah,
The US
who
uses
would
special
escalate over,
301,
like a singular
which
trade?
means like any WTO member has the incentive to start bilateral trade wars with each other. This
I mean-
is seen empirically by your reality,
Okay,
Chow
well,
evidence.
you dropped on the
Wait, so
multi-
wait. So if the I'm a little bit confused. So if the
Okay.
counterplan bans tariffs, then
Unless justified by a special 301 report.
okay, and what does that do? What is a special 301 report?
The special 301 report is a report that is released when there's an imbalance between US and international IP.
Okay, that's confusing. I guess you said that WTO structurally failing now. Why is that responsive to any of your trade stuff?
The WTO is not synonymous with global trade. We
Okay.
do not need multilateral
Wait, you said that like
institutions
it causes
to
WTO
accomplish.
conflicts, and that's how conflicts erupt.
Sorry,
That's the
it causes what?
WTO is how conflicts erupt, like
No,
trade disputes.
it's not how WTO members.
WTO members.
Yes.
But if WTO members are fighting now because the WTO is failing, why
Yeah,
is that
it's
triggered?
also uniqueness that is assumed by all of our evidence. It's because of special 301, it's because of US hypocrisy. All of our say no cards are like, if we reverse that, then the
Okay.
WTO will be fine. This is this is what is collapsing the WTO.
The first card, the Hamlin evidence on the dissed, it says it's from a
Didn't read that.
reporter. Or did you read it?
Nope.
Okay, well, do you read the terms of your impact card?
Nope.
All right. So, okay, but you did read the studies, right? On.
Yep.
Okay. I guess if studies have proven that like there's far-reaching consequences of trade, I guess over the long term, why doesn't that still trigger the impact? Because or like why doesn't that prove that the impact hasn't been triggered yet? Like why hasn't anything happened?
Because trade has not collapsed yet.
Trade's not collapsed.
Our Salkian evidence is from 2 months ago and says that we're on the brink of collapse.
I mean, it says that every move had far-reaching and unintended consequences. You said that there's been a lot of moves
Yeah.
that happened. Why
The
didn't any of
unintended
those
consequences and far-reaching consequences are the ones that brought us to the state.
far-reaching consequences? Okay, but like what state? Like what
To
consequence?
this state, where
Okay,
China
guess
and
Who
Russia are the
escalates over trade?
Russia, or not Russia, China.
China? Only
Yeah.
China?
Yeah, because we're going to extend Russian impact defensively.
Yeah, that's
All right, that makes sense. I guess if great power, your evidence said.
okay. Wait. Trade. Which card talks about China?
Chow,
Is that it?
Salkian, it says Asia as one of the areas for escalation.
I see. Okay.
Chow and the one to see is about China doing retaliatory tariffs, which would be justified by a special 301 report if we kept tariff them.
Send it up now. It's going to be. Alright, what do you want this? Okay, it's going to be the judicial review counterplan, the good idea counterplan, the reliance interest dissed, the NDAA dissed, and then advantage 2. Is that right? Something advantage 2? Yeah. Advantage 2 then. Is anybody not ready?
Yeah, I get it. And I just came in.
It's down, right? But our scanning providers is not down.
Yeah. Hello virus is in this one.
I'm gonna just get 104.
Round is way behind some of the other ones.
Sorry, that was my fault 100%. Not my fault, but.
concede the purpose not going for it, it's test competition theories to reject the argument, not to see the good idea, cannot concede the purpose of competition not going for the reliance, I concede that uncertainties and natural court flip-flopping is too, vote nay, on presumption because nobody would be confident enough in the plan would best they do perceive your whole field, the action is not solved because perceived as just another flip-flop in a series of the politics he said. Drop the impact of one air defense, resolve outways on scope, and properly resource the military cause nuclear war with every adversary, China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, it's based on the perception of decline time frame outways, because you can only die once to solve every app war, impact funding signals, resolve, steady US command, and effective deterrence, stabilize every hotspot, even in the absence of nuclear fusion technology, so easy one, the defense bill will pass out, requires bipartisan agreement, the only way it gets passed is with bipartisanship, the consensus building exercise under false evidence to pass it out, copy each other, but it's close, really, welcome to a review, listen, I'm this defense authorization, all nuclear powers, that's what you'll a few weeks bipartisanship, France delays, but distractions, back to negotiations, see where 1118, there's no opinion, had to watch the other negotiating things, cultural wars, which is that probably I'm going to be done again. The ultimate social media distraction of those shooting the basic government numbers and outside force scope. So that means there's a lot of research related talks about we have a real opportunity and actually trying to see part. The way to see part of the invisible lines that you're never do a job making efforts to the board person is as well as the compromise not finding answers to the board, but the person issues the question is what it has to hold as NDA through and despite the mandate by the GOP bipartisanship assures passage to and a mental opportunity working behind the compromise could be more condition because of proposals and so contract and because of my personal nature. Continue the lines of fact that we'll try to get it to issue to only prove that it's intrinsic, which means it's a question of the late reject this because nutrition is skills all ground because all night ground because any design can be compensated by doing the opposite action. Politics is core and timely education with issues to administration. Feel as normal means not unanimity bypassing the real world process. It's not educational rules. God for backlash business sense it's not responsible because it could be passed, but it doesn't mean they'll be happy about the money for it, which means that that's a question of the lane. Basically, the refusion is not popular, even if this bolsters the IP linkers or evidence says that they think the status quo is sufficient. Would determine further increases, especially with an unpopular form of IP, would be unnecessary. The plan is unpopular comments. 10 nuclear fusion put in the plan. If you're from the public, also, friends are commenting, it is far from clear the best way counter trends to blow through more money in the fusion of the list. Common scientific and adverse fusion is a political football share as well. But I don't know the fusion bubbles versus government litigation. But I want to run out of the end of the handle that energy or holy grail politics by transforming. Scientific is in the political bubble, but I agree with scientific and political explanation focus. But he'll have to wrestle with the negotiations over IP. Right, take over 2 years, the DOA fights the plan. November 24, held about issues and the center of the months of Hong Kong. Games have been announced by will be precious years in the rules of the vision for developing fusion power. The DOA wants total control over fusion paths. 24, human fusion type, which is certainly like a winner, like a person right to the future fidelity, confidential, whatever, going to just on the control ownership of IP, executive backlash, the plan brings apart accomplishment, 5, the person who knows the advantages will have her identification performance, government powers, the advantages will be other power proposal, not an institutional agency, 4 agencies would not shield for actions they would not shield for actions they hate, regardless fighting against labor agency action, cost 16, management of the economic settled with political labor policies, with the press of the board branch, and the media ways, all the institutional board finance institutional family, do not have economic burnout, like the pressure for, or agency outcomes, it also doesn't assume the scope of the link, Tracy 5, PC is relevant because it's a bipartisanship, but just said, Tracy 6, IP is extremely unpopular, evidence says they're super unpopular in the last decade, and the political consensus is in support of weak IP, so even fielding acceptance is unpopular for the only team that has read a card on this question, the plan is insanity, it guts focus needs some infinite floor time versus 24, the definition of insanity is that which is mostly pattern for them, please don't have all things to the passes, I'm sure the looking traction of the legislature of doing the language, their opposition senators vote no, and opposition persons in the UAC7, Trump does not solve because they did not read any evidence of this issue, reject and starting rehighlights, which they didn't even say because it means it makes it impossible to answer adjustments in chief shots, regardless, our impact is just about extending it, starting average global stability advice, adversarial aggression collapse of the lines is 100 courses on the stopping ready to select modification limited to the different limited from given under different ranges I have little attention or any for example the hammer level say head of average slow damage or any for gain or all really advantage just like the section of course because the line of average the universe action of average will see what is supposed to the one structure as well and zero instability the first average testers one weakness of this the lines are affected the questioning for the monetary service undermining credibility there. 288, there's no time frame mismatch argument. This is obviously incorrect because our argument is explicitly about punching it forward to the next Congress and the next administration be bad and causing extinction. Our evidence is not about long term, but this also doesn't matter because even short term faults in funding would obviously trigger the impact because that's what our evidence is about. 289 that Gates is irrelevant. We've read unique evidence that proves that it will be passed tenuously in the status quo, regardless. That is not they have not read a card on this. And they didn't even explain it, which means you don't give it to the 1 AR. 210, there's no double bind unique to such an over 1 because all of our cards say that this bipartisanship is tenuous, but it could go down in the status quo. They didn't read the card here, which means they should get absolutely 0 warrant for it. And advantage 2. No rush war, the Twinsies dropped it means under Herman impact or drawing. The computer has no incentive for Iceland and wants to avoid nuclear war. That specifically answers the energy shocks argument. Only we have great power drawn with other countries, there's no proliferation. The internal things about domestic uranium was the kind of all the one the reason investments are enough and start the one this year. Clause 24. Checkers a scenario, increased cooperation, decrease Russian choke allows negotiations over nuclear energy. The break is now. Globalization, restructuring capital, recommitting to rules based multilateral economic international orders, essential global prosperity and stability. Question 1015. The level of international globalization, transition war, and globalization, research, and global risk. Fragmenting major power, research, and election, increasing. Not limited for rules in order to read. By the way, multilateral economic relations. Very financial combustion production worldly, then every human is ready against not only functional economic pressure, reality, the new definition of all opposites, but the world is on the level can attack catastrophes, so innovation, new technology, regardless of how it's all space, and it can't access it in any way because we're less than the winning first, the fusion succeeds.
The concept.
Mike, did you read the Vasco card on case on the research source?
That's still no.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you read something on 2AC7. Was that an impact card on the overview?
Oh, really? No, it was sent.
Oh, you sent it. Okay. That was on their design?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, could you say the fiat stuff you said a good idea again? Like, what was the argument? Just to catch it.
Oh,
Yes,
in the 1 NC or the
you want to know.
1 NR? You said concede the parametric competition through its research correctly.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
This guy's tweaking.
Thank you.
On 2AC4 on the side, can you read the Sidmon card?
Sorry, let me check. What did the card say?
Congress will pin it on him, that's a tout.
You're not used to it.
Yeah. And I'll get those two cards you're talking about. I've just
Pretty close.
yeah, it says two.
No, your card got the both cards combined. Because you have to sign the cards.
Oh yeah. Just
Okay. Then you just send out your copy.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop, bro.
Too late. Unfortunately, 2 docs.
Mind if I take the same back? Yeah, there's 2 docs. I'm sending one, I'm sending another. Open yours first.
I'm just gonna copy these and see what last names.
Yeah. Mine's is just on politics, so it's not gonna end.
What was that?
Mine's just not. My computer seems to be taking a long time to load though, so.
Can you get Boulder involved?
Yeah. Advantage 1, advantage 2. The Ohio counterclaim. The multi-lat counterclaim. The unilat dissat. Politics.
Below you say your doc, then Hawkins.
Yes.
I don't see your document. Yeah, I need your document.
Yours is me.
Yes.
Let me check. I think. Yeah, I think I got yours.
You haven't gotten it?
Yeah.
Okay, I got resend.
Oh, okay. Still only come through.
Can you resend it?
I don't need it. See?
That's crazy.
Still no?
No, I don't got it.
You sent it to the right chain.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no, I see my email though.
Could you send it? Do you have it?
Oh,
Is it
it's in Dropbox.
I can check
I
it.
just got it.
Oh,
Perfect.
Okay, 1 second. I need to download these.
Okay, everyone good?
Might be good. Okay, we're good.
Okay, Kelly good?
Yep.
Great. Case concede all of it. Fusion's impossible. Russian warriors won the court saying they will around check it off every trade card. They're the only defensive resources. Concede that prosperity equals worthless. More shit out of 14. Violence and increasing prosperity go hand in hand. Prosperity increases predatory behavior and people perceive that they have less than just that's really more likely to occur in general. Prosperity is increasing. Good average increases much greater than expected. Just straight turn impact turning. The trade is sad. Now go to the Ohio counterplan. Ohio doesn't link to the United Dissent will concede the link. It's exclusively about increasing IP protections of the counterplan does not link to the dissent and its add-on. The counterplan can't solve hold line to concede 0 words on what the counterplan will link, so you should not just find new 2 hour responses. Condos voting to returns 1 policy chasing no cost options. Discrimination to lower the quality debate 2 and chasing payment countries prevent the answers group their opposite no people by contribution lacks terminal impact or is impact turned above. So the impact turned above flex is always checked by functional limits which you drop from T skews on that will be crossed on T. Dissent T answers process uniqueness counterplan great infinite returns just cells that can be perm storm trade not or nor are logical things will play spin due to the arena force innovate. Now go to the multi-lane counterplan perm votes also looks like he was following on explicitly like explicitly the dissent so no takes these backsies reject the new planks. There's no turn uniqueness first the depth 2 easy reasons to reject new plank. First is it's agrammatical. A USFG is not capitalized is not a thing. It's a meaningless term of art. We've inserted no cutting from Google that's the United States factors. Guilded church the counterplay gets struck down so they got to develop new uniqueness for the turn. Just a second 2 and C counterplays are voter variance that way next like logic 2 C's. The last chance for offense they expect 1 hours in the time between theory and substance when only 5 minutes to answer a 5 minutes to answer a massive block runs 2 and C can only read a counterplay text completely restructure the debate. You know that counterplay. Interdependence and trade networks make more likely that the Zhang evidence prefers only evidence is comparative between systems via multiple words. A is something that's relates to the trade mindset. So that each issue is independent of the more important when one nation benefits more than another relative gains and incentivizes retaliatory measures that escalate to a full war. B drawbacks to all scores. It means they can be played with wealth and maintain political stability using diplomacy. C impairs World War I occurs lobbying top to 10. World War I occurs by high levels of independence treated by promotes peace, high hypothesis, ignores systemic context, particularly alliance between parties are involved in independence. A B may help B threaten C. A if A had an interest that many economic ties to A independence to increase the probability of war between B and C and otherwise that determines a European war more likely to trade inhabited which reach exposure to risk which incentivize around 116 economic dependent have cheaper war the trade promotes peace out just independence balance between trade and two nations that's symmetrical but nation benefit does engage in this conflict more often than not the relation basically is to control these circumstances we dwell in conflicts and independent early 25 times more likely to engage in armed conflict are not up to point trade and promote treaties however the balance becomes disproportionate to globalization increase MID is the first part they read as an impact extension rejected. They explicitly said that Russia and Iran do not escalate because they read defense to their own scenario and this card mentions China 0 times so it's not offense for them. Second best statistical evidence in case study proves trade is more likely to cause conflict. First, 13 economic independence influence the country giving false sense of security and the interdependence of economies for which peace has been proven wrong on multiple occasions through the trade relations promoting conflict and increase in compatible types of government asymmetry trade the third party relations trade relations democracy to leaders are more likely to be assumed to option to constant military conflict non-trying government leaders are less sensitive to the independence increase vulnerability economic independence in Germany overall war one asymmetrical can also increase the likelihood of conflict one country has landing power over the other changes the media species banned in the United States before World War II example of asymmetrical have no influence of conflict Ukraine Russia remain the relay trains on trading partner interactions continued needed throughout the conflict and U.S. China trade war specifically would be globally beneficial. NPR 22 war trade worker to trade opportunities around the nation increase global trade by 3%. China reinforce years to increase the remains of commercial nations and more real continue global trade funds or just nations contribute to benefit most high degree of international agreements exports in response to terrorist outward and China will isolate over trade insofar as they're right about any risk of an impact or Costello 18. China may have a win trade for any trade war in the U.S. simply rating out China hopes that they claim the long game against the U.S. will be able to gain a consistent on trade policy to be drawn into that. Over 2 days on meetings in China, the result was increasing U.S. delegation had to come in and having made little progress on intricable issues. Now go to the politics. Actually, I'll read a couple more cards. Stats prove Israel 17. Global and MIS are culturally related evidence shows the representation between globalization, military expenditure, countries experiencing globalization technology, increase in militarization, bilateral trade, increase in the cost of bilateral war globalization, reduces the cost of any given uncertainty, and increase the probability of war military expenditures are growing. The British are militarism and yeah, now they're politics. Bring the link through agencies. None of the evidence is specific to agency, unique in the enforcement or the DOE. The best research confirms the last without passing to avoid accountability to plausible deniability. Stromberg evidence. Prefer only we cite studies that have returned link about statutory action. Their evidence about people, not Congress. That's COVAX evidence entire road for reference. The best information for confirm. Republican A. Agencies action receive far less attention to the president. Public's unaware lack of accountability makes it easier to pursue a political agenda. Agency level Bush also has to pursue unpopular aspects such as like national security are far removed from the everyday decision of non-administrative agencies. 2 and C1 or 1 and R1 is empirically bankrupt. There's no link. The NDA is on track to get already to get a delay, so there's no opportunity cost into fiat is immediate. Every piece of evidence indicates that it gets delayed to Trump. The NDA must pass. That's Older office historically with pushback every year. There's no way Republicans would deny it outright. That's a voting app happens in December. Not now. The skull evidence. 1 and C Schultz proves they can easily put NDA in second term won't be combined. 2 NDA bill will be severely be delayed. CBS 1124 in final details marshals funding events NDA extension of the Fargo supplement is really funding experiment 2 or testing the person of the whole country. They are follow Americans in need. The link is simply illogical. If Republicans want to finish aid before the elections, fights only mean they try to pass earlier. There's no reason why they shoot them in themselves. We highlights. They're cheated to deter bad card cutters and argument responsibility and it goes to regressive and arbitrary. The evidence concedes the person most way. The surely evidence is below for reference, multiple all causes. Zero moments to be created Indo-Pacific inserted below for reference. Conservative measures or denied limits CQ. Evidence inserted below for reference. And their evidence is that delayed resolution solves and no one wants it to stop, which is the 10-minute drug and evidence inserted below for reference. There's no turns case over no applicability to trade. Uniquely being good, but insofar as it does weak impact turned it in the resource wars turns are app offense and or app offense and uniqueness for where the turn comes before the disapp.
417.
I was.
Well, you said something at the top like the counter plan does not generate uniqueness for the turn.
Yeah, because you don't get the plank.
Okay.
If you get the plank, maybe that's what we can debate on.
No, like the impact turn still applies though.
Yeah.
So like it's just like reasons why counterplay
Yes.
can't generate it.
Yeah.
Ohio. Then multi-lat. The NDA or the NDA descent.
Is there a doc?
No. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm okay.
The negative is score of this topic. There's no unifying the background apps and making infinite practice is impossible for us to prepare because there's 3 different topic areas and infinite typing affirmatives. 2 pieces of offense versus negative flexibility is impossible when the affirmative gets to choose exactly what the one C goes for. When we put all our eggs in one basket, it's impossible for the negative to actually debate because the 2 app will always be more compared seconds arbitrariness. Non-resolution theory is infinitely more arbitrary. I don't care how good this vote is because it's still not a regular resolution, not direct resolution. The affirmative can always redefine their interpretation to exclude the negative after it's been read. Changing definitions of this vote means that it literally divides no negative fiat, makes it impossible for the negative to debate no ink chasing, calling force them to find you know and exactly what it sees. Research goes outside the rest. There's no terminal impact ink chasing. Quality of aids is better under conditionality, but absence of arbitrary forcing the negative develop specific strategies. But all of this is irrelevant because there's no terminal impact on why quality debates are good, why ink chasing is bad. We have negative fairness, reason why the negative cannot debate reasonability. If it's good enough, you're debating cost of substance granite, and you should just stick up to the counterplan, make it constituted, make it conditional. And regardless, all this, the rest of their defense does not assume anything because functional limits cannot check. Cannot check flexibility when the app can determine exactly what the neg has to go for, which is what we're impact on the arbitrariness is also dropped offense. The impact is terminal. No neg fiat makes it impossible for the negative to debate because no uniqueness outside of this topic. You know this ad. Kick the counterplan. There's no uniqueness for this ad because Trump would tariff inevitably. This was all part of the 2AC answer. That's the only thing there. Even if we'll concede that the other counterplan in the 2AC gets struck down, there's no uniqueness because Trump will do tariffs. This is crystal clear because everything that 2AC said as to why this ad is not unique. We have agreed with them and said that this ad is terminally thumped and the next tariff is going to come out sometime in the future. And also the 2AC, the uniqueness evidence we read in the blog code, recommitting to a rules-based multilateral economic international order is essential. There's no evidence in that is happening in the status quo. It is a solvency argument for the counterplan, not the status quo. It says because the counterplan simply just does not improve the status quo. The counterplan is necessary to improve the status quo. We have introduced a non-uniqueness ad. This is the only uniqueness card we read in the blog. It also means that your resource propensity is not unique offense for them as well because they've conceded plan fails. You cannot generate resource propensity and resources are low anyways. In other words, the plan does not change the status quo. It simply tries to do something and cannot and fails. That was clear based off of what are concessions. I can't get this because it is conditional, and the fact that there's no uniqueness for the term means that trade is terminally fucked now anyway. So the app doesn't change anything to make it even worse. Special 301 has already been happening, and it cannot be more clear than enough because all of our cards now, the realities we have agreed. The only reason we can get bypass those is through the counterplan that we've explicitly kicked. The NDA, this time, failure to pass the NDA before December causes extinction, means the United States cannot fund its own military, cannot make military readiness. That means start China and run. We're trying to attack the United States. That causes extinction. The link conceded 2 fantastic cards. Both the cards say that the DOE backlash against the plan, that the backlash against the plan popular evidence is about government programs. They will shift, the plan shifts to private development via patents, which hurts the development of energy. Those cards aren't enough. You drop the Melia card. We do not need to have cards about agencies themselves. Executive backlash brings apart Congress. It means that we cannot have any bipartisanship to pass the bill. This was explicit. And we do not need a PC link or bipartisanship link because this is an independent backlash link that is irrelevant of all who gets who's blamed because the DOE will come into Congress and break apart any negotiations that are happening now because they're so mad. Link is 100. They've gone for simply the argument that people backlash against the plan. The people who backlash against the plan are the same people that the plan that would shield the plan because our link is not to PPC or bipartisanship framing the issue. Now, everything else about uniqueness, there's 2 parts. First is that delay solves. The impact that we sent after the one in the art is fantastic, and they should have definitely read this because our impact is not just an NDAA passing, but rather delay is terrible. It explicitly says that if the NDAA does not pass, we're going to pass continuing resolution, which can be used as an independent impact because if we extend that, then it is impossible to fund our military. That maintains government spending at the current level, so there's no more funds appropriated for the military, which means we cannot prepare, we cannot generate readiness. The NDAA must pass does not work. Our part is very clear. It says extending the CR is an independent impact, so delay is the impact of this and not just passing the bill itself. There's a difference between passing the bill before December and passing it after, because if we pass it after, there's literally no funding for the military and the government freezes all of its funding levels. There's no hyper-intervention now, but the status quo will not delay, which is the second part of the argument. Our cards say that the Senate will confirm now, and bipartisanship means that we can do. We've read more recent cards that saying this, going to get through the session now, right now, before it gets delayed, must pass relevant because this was above. No, there's no numbers. All the other policies don't assume that the NDAA is the highest priority. All the cards that they have highlighted in the sentence right after saying that the NDAA is literally they're negotiating the NDAA first before anything else. Even if there's other things on the priority list, they're going to pass it. I'm not trying to complicate things, but the NDAA is improving the ability for them to get money for the defense budget. NDAA means that they don't have to use the CR, and the CR itself is bad. That is the scenario of the design we're going for. So if the TRI gets up and says delay enough of that is not responsive, I don't have to win a very large risk because there's zero risk of the case. They can kick out of everything and wait for a turn that has zero uniqueness. You know the status quo is fucked anyway, so there's only a risk that the plan makes everything even worse. Now reject all rehighlightings. The CBS code is terrible. It says distraction relief is popular. Does not speak to the form bill. The only controversial item is the NDAA. Our unique cause are better and more numerous. The logical is incoherent because this assumes the election has already happened. Republicans are trying to permit it, and the insertions are uniquely bad in this debate. They're asymmetrical because we read all of our rehighlightings, so letting them insert gives them more advantage. But bad card is equally deterred by reading rehighlights.
Numbers don't say they're unpopular.
Numbers don't say that they're unpopular.
Great. Don't punish us for making bad strategy.
Don't.
Alright, crouch time 230. Alright, starting. Trade gear, or trade one gear, then politics.
Trade politics.
Yeah, I'll also do like the concession, like like the concession of the multi-lap kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like I'll do that with this side. Yeah, cool. Kelly, good?
Yeah.
It's your die for a trade war. Trade linearly raises the risk of conflict, makes escalation empirically guaranteed in every hostile Asia, Africa, U.S. Law lash out while trade is blooming, instruments and storing, but a war stops all of that. Frame issue for this debate. You're certain that trade causes station turns every level of dissent because it makes other countries more likely to attack the U.S. and more likely to spiral out of control with overreach. Funding controls the entirety of the debate. Now, unique concession does not take anything out. Now, it's all nonsensical. You should ask yourself where has one extended any unique arguments against this, and for why it is not unique. You can all concede each and every one on a card. So this is not a starter. Trump will do terrorists is logically incorrect and not extended. It's a nice try, but simply cannot get them out of this whole turn. Tunar cannot go for the plan does nothing because the link is not a something question. One has explicitly conceded the link one to get the link to the turn. Trinity said that quote special 3.1 plan is unilateral bolt from the blue increase in IPR, which makes the U.S.'s domestic IP comparatively stronger than other countries. Offers international harmony and IPR protection. We agree with this because merely based on the perception IP agreement to unilateral this alone determines the direction of uniqueness. Domestic updates trade off, and everyone perceives that violation of norms, even if fusion is impossible. The hands are still granted, so the link is guaranteed. Now we can see several unique species, Karachi, Elliot, etc. All say that we're on the brink for war now, and the plan is guaranteed collapses. Concede the plan, and the campaign does not generate uniqueness. When the 1AR does not extend uniqueness, defense, frame this with the card, and the frame this of the concession. Every single 1AR card, all of them are unique. This Brex evidence says that economic independence is stabilizing, more likely to cause a catastrophe. And all of you said both studies that say that history concludes that it shows that it makes the conflict more dangerous. It's all the 1AR evidence, and if you conclude that way, then you cannot vote on the dissent or get anything else because any risk of defense has a way because it's just structuring a Tardine. Now, the Han evidence above says the same thing, and it says the relationship is trade off. Now, but the internet countries are 25 times more likely to engage in armed conflict means that you know the magnitude of the app is 25 times more than the count. Now, you should frame this with all the fact that I spent 3 minutes on cross-examining setting this up. They've said, and to think back to 20 cross-ex, when they said that their impact evidence is from the last month and prices in every single war and every single argument about Trump. This is the entire reason why I was asking questions to 20 cross-ex, and Michael cannot BS his way out of this because 2 was pretty explicit that this ad is still an opportunity cost of the plan, even independent of all the counterclaim stuff. So you must hold the line to what the law was very explicit that we're conceding all other explanations, the entire explanation of this ad, which means you cannot get rid of any of this new BS because it's not predictable for the 1AR to have to frame it that way. Now none of the 2R answers ever get out of it, and it's all irrelevant. So all this means that the Shard die, and they have no defense, so it's game over. Politics aside. No time frame about they can see that it's trying to die, so it should frame it. There's no difference between dying now and dying later, which means that probably must frame it about now. Each shield link is a killer, and this basically zeroes the entire risk of this. The best research confirms allows about cracking the void accountability due to plausible deniability that's Schoenberg evidence. Now they conceded in the 2NR that you should only prefer studies, and every link is about statutory action. You ask yourself what is a link. Now all other link evidence is broadly about focus and about partisanship. You should ask yourself why do Democrats and Republicans in Congress can fight over each other or fight over with other Democrats in Congress when Congress has not done anything. It was just a president at best. It means that everyone will get angry at the president, not at each other, which means that it still maintains some level of bipartisanship. You should ask why it can ever escalate and why it can ever draw in the president. Now we cite studies, and our evidence is great. It says it allows buck passing because individual politicians will be able to pass the buck and say that other people did it and it was not their fault. That means the effect of the plan is that Biden will say that it was not me and say just put all the blame on someone else. Now none of the link evidence or none of their internal link evidence ever prices in. So you ask yourself what is the impact. Now they dropped the indict to their card in the 1AR about how it is about people, not Congress, which means that it does not apply to any offense. It's not about any of the links. It does not apply to perception, which means that Congress is functionally irrelevant. Now they also dropped the Dawkins evidence, which is great. It says empirics from the Bush administration that says it makes it easier to pursue a political agenda, which is the reason why presidents use to pursue unpopular aspects through the agencies themselves. Now, any other explanation of the link is broadly incoherent and not applicable to any of the scenarios because it's not warranted out in the 2NR. You should not do that work for them in the link being proper because all of them are not explained enough for you to vote on it. Now, but you should all frame this through the fact that any risk of the turn above is just a yes/no question, which means that it must outweigh. Now, even if you conclude that there's some risk of the link, that does not mean that the scope of the link does not make it inevitable and does not trigger the buck to be passed. No matter how much Republicans hate the plan, does not mean it will trigger a backlash. And none of the link evidence ever says that. So you not grant new warrants for that anyways. Now, but there's also no link independently. Basically, drop that normal means for the NEDA is for it to be delayed, which takes out all the explanation because it means that there's no reason that it will ever escalate and that because voting will happen later than the plan, which means that focus is not now. Also independently dropped that this side is functionally the link chain is functionally illogical because Republicans would not want to fight each other over the plan because their ideal goal is past NDA, which means that unpopularity means they'll try to get it faster, not later. So we're going to
Elliot sent a card out.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that was in your 1R knock, right?
Yeah, of course. And then
find specific cards, let me know, but it's probably gonna take long to get the card.
Okay, could you? Uniqueness made on the first stat in politics. Is that easy for you to compile?
Yeah. That's it?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking through docs anyway, so like
Oh.
worthwhile sending it, but
I think I put all the uniqueness cards in my doc. That
from the 2AC?
Yeah.
Okay.
2AC.
Okay, then yeah, I mean, I have all the docs open and I'm definitely gonna probably go over decision time. Sorry, AK, if you left, but
In case of manage this tournament, it's possible. What?
yeah.
She said she's gonna over.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just curious. Okay.
I just sent the net card off. I might be missing some cards because I was pretty much that.
Yeah, no problem. just need to know who's who for
I'm Bilal, and the 2A is Ankit. The 2N is Mike, and the 1N is
Wait,
Brandon.
2N is Mike.
Yes.
Brandon is the 1A. Or sorry, 1N.
1N, yeah.
This one. Bilal was the 1A.
Yes.
Sorry, I need like 2 more minutes. I'm just I think I'm good. This might be a little rambly because I wrote basically nothing out, but you guys feel pretty good about it. Is everyone good?
Yes.
Okay, this was a great debate. Everyone got amazing points. I did end up voting negative. I evaluated the uniqueness debate first for the turn, and I think that the negative is likely right, that there is very low, if any, uniqueness for the turn. So I do have in the 2NC them conceding every 2AC uniqueness part about tariffs, and then specifically saying that our evidence prices in current action, but quote, tariffs will throw us into a trade war, Trump will increase them, it's guaranteed, the only thing that generates uniqueness is there being an advantage counterplan. The plank was then kicked in the 2NR, and I don't know exactly why there'd be uniqueness after that. I think the 2AR tries to refer to, I'm sorry, it's a little messy, let me just see what I have the 2AR saying. Like they're just like every one of our cards proves that the economy is stabilizing, etc. I just can't get behind like them not reading any uniqueness evidence saying that tariffs will cause trade war, and then the only thing that generates uniqueness is the plank that they then kicked. I just don't really have any uniqueness, I guess, for that disad. I don't like give it like 0, but like I don't know. I just don't think that there's uniqueness. And then given that like that was obviously your only impact, so I voted negative. But I did still look at the politics debate. I in particular looked at the agency shielding argument to see if I could 0 the disad and maybe give you some sort of uniqueness, but I just don't think that this is the case. Like, I agree that agencies might get some blame, but I still think Biden would get some blame, so the risk isn't 0 that there's a link. I also think that I like the delay argument that the app is saying that it'll be delayed inevitably. The 2NR seems to make some differential that there's like a greater risk from delay that already is going to happen versus even more delay that the plan will cause, so there's some sort of impact differential there. And then I think the uniqueness cards, what did I write here? I just wrote uniqueness. like I agree there's some bumpers, but I don't think that it was well explained enough by the 2AR to prove why passage will be delayed as far as they say the plan will cause it to be delayed. So that's kind of how I viewed the differential there between uniqueness on the disad. And I ultimately, like, I looked to see if I could zero the disad. I don't think I could, so I voted negative. Sorry, that was really jived together. Happy to answer like very specific questions about specific parts of the debate because I have nothing written out.
That one makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way for like the 2R to like explain the link header to like get you to get to a link, or do you think that's just like impossible after the 200 concessions?
On the disad?
Like on the impact turn, yeah.
Okay, so I'll be frank, like I spent like I don't know, I didn't have a ton of time to read cards, but I mean, is there anything in any of your cards that you think could possibly prove that, I don't know, like are there lines from any of the cards in the 2AC or lines even from the 2AC that like our tariff thumpers aren't that good or something to prove that it won't inevitably cause trade war? Like potentially something like that, but I needed more of that, and then I don't know, you're kind of in a tough spot, I think, given that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't have any more questions.
I mean, if there's even anything in any of your, I mean, your impact evidence is super kind of old, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't have any questions.
That makes sense.
Do you have thoughts for us?
Thoughts? Y'all were really hard to understand, like when you transition between cards, flows, everything. Like you're very speedy and you're pretty clear, but it's like there's not that natural pausing between arguments, even like tag and then card. I also like had kind of a hard time following, and also you will insert so many more cards than you read and like jump around so much in the doc. That kind of bothered me. In terms of the debate itself, I mean, I really liked what the 2R did with this uniqueness stuff. I thought that was really smart. Some of these 1 and C positions were silly. I wouldn't read them. It's a waste of time. And then I think the block split was good. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't have any thoughts. I thought you extended the right things for sure on the block, so.
Do you think the impact turn for us was the right move?
Like, in the 1AR for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think, yeah, it was definitely the right move. I, like, honestly barely even saw this, like, uniqueness stuff coming, so if there's anything you could have done in the 1AR to, like, preempt that, I don't know if you saw it coming either.
I actually had one question. So
Yeah.
do you think, I don't know if you have any of the cards open, but in the 1AR there's a card NBER 22. It was not really extended in the 2AR at all. Do you think, this card kind of talks about terrorists, do you think there's any way to use this card for a 2AR uniqueness push?
I mean, maybe, but it's just tough because I think the 2AC cards are so much better that they did concede.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I don't know if like you could have stuck them with the 2NC plank in some way in the 1AR. Like, is there any? I don't know. You could have.
I mean, I guess they just kicked the counter blender.
Yeah. So you can't really.
So then is only 2AR like out condo in this debate? If that even is an out.
So in the 2AR, I probably would have gone for condo. I just don't think I just think the uniqueness question was so hard. I don't know if you felt differently or was debating.
No, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no.
I just felt like they were right about it. And like I said, I had like 5 minutes to decide, but like I feel like I would have gone for condo.
So last question, 1AR, do you think impact turn's the right move? But then should I also extend some portion of case?
Yeah.
And then I guess it would have to be on advantage 1 because Ohio kind of plan solvency is probably pretty good. Or actually, maybe not for the pro live stuff.
Which one was advantage one again?
The
The fusion?
fusion one. So we could concede like,
Yeah.
no, but never mind. Yeah, if we extend fusion, doesn't it
Takes
possible
much
we
time.
also think
Yeah.
we can extend pro live? Yeah. So extending pro live without something.
What about like I don't know, the resources stuff? Like is that
Well, is it not a double turn with the
Yeah,
trade war?
actually.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought I would have kept something alive, tried to figure out what it is. I don't know exactly, but I definitely like think the impact term was right, just because they were very deep on everything.
Yeah.
But I think after the 2 hour, I probably would have gone for condo.
Kelly, did you think 2 on condo was fine? Did it need more?